Hi there. Whoops. Sorry, I didn't realize I was so close. Hello. It is me. I am checking in for what I believe is my third vlog. I really do hate that word. I wish we could come up with something different. Let's see. I'm sorry that my hands are shaking and whatnot. I had a little tripod that I was using that was great for my phone. Unfortunately, it is broken, so I had to order a new one and I don't have it yet, so apologize for the shaking hands. I'm back on doing my juice cleanse, so my body thinks I'm hungry and is oh, that's funny. Sorry, I don't know if you saw if that shows up, but I just got a notification that my new tripod shipped. What a coincidence. Alright, so this is why I am here today, to talk about everything that's kind of been going on, and I hope I can keep this brief. I have a tendency to blab a little bit too much, so I'm trying to keep this brief. You may or may not be aware of the fact that my husband and I were doing a mental health podcast called Voices for Change. And we were on a particular network that was owned by a person who also, we called him a producer, just because we didn't know what else to call him. It would have sounded stupid to say, the owner of the network is gonna get in touch with you. People would be like, why is the owner calling me? What's that all about? So we called him the producer. Also because he edited the shows and then, put them out. We severed ties with that network, for business reasons. He was not someone who had our best interest in mind. He made our working conditions very difficult. And it wasn't, let me make this clear, it wasn't a job that we were being paid for. Everything we did for free. I even paid myself for the logo, for advertising, for the website that I created. All the work, all the promoting I did for his network, for his other shows, everything was completely free. He, yes, did give us a show for free, but all of his shows were given to people for free. So it wasn't like he was doing something special for us. Essentially, it got to a point where our working environment, working conditions just deteriorated so much, and I couldn't get along with him. We were just two different people. He could be very mean and spiteful, and the last time I talked to him, which was, the whole thing went down yesterday, he was mean and nasty, and I'm not going to take that from anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. So we have severed ties with Speaking to the Heart Network. We are looking for another network to put our podcast on. It will be changed a little bit, but it'll be the same idea. Myself and my husband speaking to people about mental health issues. Some people may not be mental health. Some people may be there because they're in a movie, or they've written a book, or they're on a TV show, or they have a physical condition as opposed to a mental condition. It's going to be up to us for once. Prior to this, it wasn't up to us. It was up to this other person. So we feel like, having done all the work myself on the other show, written all the questions, done all the research, gotten all the guests, I feel pretty certain that I can handle that. In the future, we're going to take some time off, excuse me, take a little vacation, and then we'll move along. But I feel like, having done all that work, that I really didn't get the credit that I deserved, and we're looking for a network where it will be our show and we will be able to determine when we record and on what days and when the people are scheduled and all of that. So even though it's sad and it's disappointing and kind of heartbreaking that because we worked really hard on it and we talked to a lot of really great people and, you know, we got to talk to some people that I was, you know, a really big fan of, and that was exciting. But we have to move on. Sometimes in life you just have to move on and do what's best for you. And in this instance, leaving that network is what's best for us. So that's what we're going to do. I think I'm handling it better than I thought I was going to. And part of that reason is because last night Joe and I had a night out. We went to go see RiffTrax live. For those of you who may not be aware, it's RiffTrax is sort of a, I don't know, you could say spin-off of the TV show Mystery Science Theater 3000 that started back in the 90s, early 90s. Actually, I think it might have even started late 80s. And they went until the later end of the 90s. They were on a couple of different channels. They started like Comedy Central and went to Sci-Fi, and at one point the original creator left the show and another guy came to fill in. And what that was, if you aren't familiar, you might have seen at some point, you know, flipping through the channels, if you went past a show where it was a movie and then in the front it was like a row of theater seats and then a guy in the middle and then two robots on the side of him making fun of the movie that was on the screen. That's it. That's Mystery Science Theater 3000. Well, RiffTrax is a variation of it, but there's no people in front of the screen. RiffTrax, what they do both live and recorded. The live shows are amazing because they simulcast them to, you know, 600-700 theaters across the United States, and you just pay like a regular movie ticket and you can go and see the simulcast of them live. We do plan on driving one of these times that we know in advance that they're doing one of these. They often do them at the Belcourt Theater, I believe in Tennessee. And we're going to drive there. We are going to go live. I've talked to these guys on Twitter. Mike Nelson, Bill Corbett, Kevin Murphy, the most amazingly hilarious people that I know. They are my comedic heroes. And like I said, last night was great, and I feel good about having gone out and gotten to do something after what a crappy day it started out to be. So that's probably why I'm handling things as well as I am currently. No, it's gonna hit me at some point, I'm sure, like, because there were people that I still wanted to talk to, that we still planned on scheduling and had scheduled, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to talk to those people in this situation. However, I'm hoping that, you know, I can reach back out to them. I know I've talked to a couple of them and they've been, hey, you know, if you do get a new show or whatever, just let me know. And that's wonderful. I appreciate that a lot. So, you know, I'm a little bit kind of stressed out, but I did see my doctor, my new psychiatrist, on Tuesday. Wait. No. Yeah, Tuesday. I'm sorry, I'm so confused about dates. Tuesday, and bawled my eyes out about a lot of different things that have been really bothering me. I asked her how she thought I would do on the drug Thorazine, which, like I've said before, if you've heard before, I've said that's what they were giving the little girl in The Exorcist, so I decided if it worked for her, it might work for me. So I made the suggestion, and she said yes, and she put me on it, and so far it's been good because it's knocking my ass out at night. The only downside is that today I slept pretty much all the way through, but I've been waking up sort of in the middle of the night and just been like wide awake, like, oh, I gotta do something to simmer down here. That's how the whole fight with the producer guy started yesterday. I was still up from that, and I had done some work on a project that we were about to do on Saturday, and I sent him the information and he flipped the hell out. So yeah. So I started on Thorazine, and it's helping me sleep at night, which I'm grateful for, because that's, you know, one of my biggest struggles. And she also told me that it was, you know, and I told her that there have been some things that I've really, really been struggling with. And I just was bawling my eyes out in her appointment, and recently bawled my eyes out on Facebook Live as well. And she gave me the name of the therapist that she works with that does this intensive PTSD trauma therapy. And I was excited that it was going to be the person that she works with at the same office, but unfortunately I went to that person's online scheduling yesterday, and she doesn't do any Tuesdays, and that's the only day I can go because I don't have a car. Joe takes our car to work every day. We have not purchased our second car yet because of all the home repairs we are going to be going through over the next couple of months. Our insurance covers a lot of it because it was from a flood, but there's a $1,200 deductible, and we have to pay that. So we may not be able to get a second car, which is extremely disappointing because I'm going a little bit stir crazy being stuck in this house all the time. But circle back to the therapy thing. I am now going to look into online therapy. It seems to be a thing now. It's a possibility that our insurance will cover it, which is important because it's not something I can just afford on a day-to-day basis. And I'm looking into a lot of different things. So, but it will be a trauma, PTSD type therapy that I'm looking to get into. And I've never, ever wanted to go to therapy, but I have been struggling so much. I mean, between just the depression and the crying and the tearfulness all the time, you know, nightmares and flashbacks and things like that. So, moving on to attempt therapy, and hopefully I can find somebody who will fulfill what I need them to fulfill, and they won't be like all the horrible therapists that I've seen, because I've seen a lot of horrible therapists. So that's that. So the wrap-up is we no longer have a podcast at this point. I'm hopeful that I will be able to reach out to some networks. You know, I've spoken to couple of different people, and you know what, if worst comes to worst, Joe and I will put the show out ourselves. There are people all over the place that are doing podcasts. Just there's this, you know, website called Spreaker, and it's one that we were on with the old thing, and they have an app for your phone. You just put it on your phone and you can do a podcast over your phone. So how hard could it actually be? You know, we're just gonna have to learn how to edit. And Joe went to, you know, Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts. It was several years ago, but he did learn, you know, broadcast type stuff then. So it won't be hard if it comes to, if we really, really, really want to do it, and we can't get what we need from another network, we'll do it ourselves. Because people tell us that we were doing a great job. I feel like I was doing a great job. I felt like I had found, like, you know, my element. You know, I didn't matter how bummed out I was or exhausted. When I got on that interview with that person, I you know, switch flipped. And I was able to laugh and ask these questions and be present in the moment and really really take part in these interviews, and I put all of my heart and soul into these questions and getting to know these people. And I really, if any of them watch this, I really want you to know that I truly, truly do appreciate you being on our show and letting us interview you. And I truly did feel a connection to you during the time of our interviews. So thank you for that. I'm getting over 15 minutes here, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I will be back sometime this weekend, possibly Sunday when Joe is teaching guitar. During the day I will pop on, but I hope you have a good weekend. Wishing you all the best. Please comment if you are interested in speaking to me about something or anything, or need to speak to me. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Becca Lombardo, BEKALOMBARDO. Thanks a bunch. You guys take care.